What's up, guys? It's Ninja. Oh no, Ninja. Let me exit out of the league real quick. The hell? Reason why is it takes up PC. But I'm watching this video. Okay. Now in the video, it says Obama takes his gloves off. I was uploaded by Brian Tyler Cohen. I don't know if he says this or not, but check this out.
Liberal democracy. It was a controversial statement. Now it is self.
You know what? Hold on.
What we're also witnessing.
I will say that this is a good take, but he needed to intervene sooner.
What we're also witnessing is that when the system is captured by those who, let's say, have a weak attachment to democracy, are not.
Now, real quick, that's why I stopped eating because I realized I'm talking now. But basically, what happens next is Obama stops talking because he notices a disconnect, and so he's playing daddy here, and he's like, attention, like teacher, like class. No, come this way. Watch.
Well, I don't even think that's a controversial statement at this point. No, I'm actually being serious now. It was a controversial.
He's correcting them because you think it's this way, but it's actually that way, and that's what he's doing. What you should do is put people back on track, and that's kind of what I do. It's just I cut straight to the fucking core. Like I say, you hear, oh, you're fat, and then a person will take it a certain way. But what I say, it's because you're fat. It strikes at your spine. Your head gets cut off. Like I said, I took the gloves off, and I'm hell smart, and so that when I pick you apart, it's like getting hit by one punch, and I punch and boom, and half the world blows up. Basically, that's the difference. I don't make it soft. And the thing is, I'm bringing that to PvP in video games. Like I used to play PlayStation All Stars, got #1 there. Super Smash Bros. Top contender there. League of Legends, I was pretty fucking high up. StarCraft 2, I was pretty high up. Warcraft, I was pretty high up. StarCraft, I was pretty high up. Right? But I never got a chance to really commit because I was going through hell in my life. I had an abusive mother, an abusive home. I had a brain tumor. I had radiation therapy. I went through a stroke. So I had a lot of shit that I went through, that held me back. But understand this whole and growing up in the house I grew up in. The reason why I'm one punch now is because my whole life I had a pair of gloves on, and I didn't know it, basically. And so I actually got good enough where I was able to box people. They had their boxing gloves on, and I had pillows. Like, there's a difference. Like, if you've ever been hit by a boxing glove, there's a difference. Like, it doesn't hurt, but it's draining. Or there's a pillow, it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is, though, is they are so bad nowadays that I was actually able to stand toe to toe. It's not because I was great or because I am one punch, but it's compared to them, I am one punch. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm good, it's because they're so bad and they're the alphas and they're the main, and this is what everyone loves and likes. And then compared to me, who is just a part, like I strived to ride in the passenger seat. And this is why I never really was #1 in most games. Smash Bros. I did really well, but that was more about the reaction speed. And I had it. You know what I'm saying? And not only was the reaction speed, but it was, can you read your opponent and then can you react properly? And I would be better than them, right? But as far as like knowing the game, knowing the rules, and having strategy and shit, like I didn't do too well. Basically, now I fucking dominate because I'm older now. But back then, no. Anyways,
controversial statement. Now it is self-acknowledged. I mean, if you follow regularly what is said by those who are in charge of the federal government right now, there is a weak commitment to what we understood, and not just my generation, at least since World War II, our understanding of how a liberal democracy is supposed to work. And when I say liberal, I don't mean left. I mean liberal in the sense of believing in rule of law and independent judiciary and freedom of the press and freedom of assembly and protest and compromise and pluralism. All those.
So this is where I had to stop him, because he's drawing back to those days. And I was like, that's fine, but you have to understand what is now is not was what was then, basically. And so when you say liberalism, not in the left sense, but in the sense that, like, that's America's core, you need to understand that you are saying liberal as in left, because the right has gone so fucking deep and they dragged the center in with it. So now, instead of being centered between red and blue, now it's centered between red and dark red. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So when you say liberalism in the senses you just gave it, that's left leaning now, because literally they are authoritarianism, basically. So that's what we're competing with here, and you're failing to acknowledge that and see that and understand that and see it what it is. And if that's the case, you can't fight it. Basically, we can't make proper adjustment calls. That's why the Bernie blackout happened, and why he's still gone and he's still vacant and disappeared, because he's not fighting back hard enough. That's why I point out Sean Paul and all Long Island on Sean Paul and you, Obama. I have a list of people that are basically pussies and they don't push back hard enough. And that was my point for a very long time. So
those institutional norms and laws that were embodied in the Constitution imperfectly, and then over time were expanded so that we had a basic understanding of, like,
it got better, right? It got better.
I can't just be picked up on the street and hauled off to another country.
Right.
That's not something.
Right, but that's what's happening. You know why? It's because the center is now in the red, and you're talking about it like the world's still centering when it's actually in the red.
Thing that wasn't a partisan view.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Nowadays, it is, compared to them, compared to what they see as centered. That was partisan, basically, because again, they are authoritarianism. They're dictators, basically, and for you to swing against our leadership makes you the enemy. Not it makes you a normal human being. You're an enemy, because we are dark red, and what you said isn't red enough for our dark red, so therefore you must be a bad guy, because there's no other side of this.
That wasn't a Republican or a Democratic notion that
No, back in 50 years ago, sure, yeah, you could say that. 30 years ago, whatever, you could say that, but today you can't.
Shouldn't happen. That was an American value and norm.
Yeah, it was an American value. It was an American norm. But they took that American value and norm, and they went and they ran left or right with it into the heart of the red. And they're saying, oh, you're trying to do that with the blue, and that's a justification. When in reality, all the blue's doing is just winning, and it's not our fault people like us more because it's either be a slave or be free. And people are like, we prefer to be free. And the red's like, what the fuck? Why don't you like us? Oh, it wants to trickery bullshit. And everyone on the right that agrees is basically a slave owner. Like, yeah, what the fuck, man? Basically, that's what's going on. It's because the red side is literally trickle down economics, basically, and that's leadership, not the money. The money is part of it, but just imagine leadership instead of money. It's power, trickle down economics, basically. Instead of money, it's power. And so these people with the power have all the money, they have all the power, and then they say, "Hey, I should be in control of your life." What, you want control of your life? You're the enemy, and that's what's going on. That has been normalized.
And so
So they're all clapping for Obama, but then they should be clapping thunderous for me. I should be getting so much love, so much attention for my insight, for my wisdom, but I'm being ignored because no one likes me, no one loves me, because grassroots doesn't exist anymore, and they control the algorithm. And when people like me and they see me, I don't get any love or support, basically, from the algorithm. I get shut down, I get pushed down, I get quieted in the whole 9 yards, basically. Every single time I start talking, get going, I get a scam call. Shocker.
so what I believe it continues to be that there has to be responses and pushback from civil society, from various institutions.
No, it's from people, or leaders rather, into those systems, and then those systems in turn take that message and push. Like what's going on right now is, again, like, I understand you're trying to be as hands off as possible, but understand that they're 100% hands on. And so leaving it to them doesn't work, because the second they start crossing into their territory, then that hand comes out, grabs them, spins them around, turns them red, and sends them back against us. Because it's so much power and so much control. Basically, so what you need to do is you need to be a dad at this point, and literally, when I say go, go, like yeah, like go, yeah, that's how what's called the wars were fought back in the day. People just running at each other in lines like "fuck you, bitch," and they get shot and they die, whatever. It's because they're dumbasses, and the war basically is the same thing, mentally. Though now they use stealth and they hide and they use cover, they're smarter in combat, but they still are dumbasses about decisions and shit. Like, I understand, like, I don't fear AI taking forever because it got smarter than us. Like, it's going up. It's what's going on is we're here, right? And here's AI. But by that happening, this is what we're seeing. But in reality, it's just. And so AI is going to take over, but because people are so stupid, they can't fucking recognize AI. Kind of like when they accepted the AI into Iran or Iraq or whatever, and then the same thing happened again, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, AI is so it's mad, wow." Like, I talked to ChatGPT. I'm smart enough to break it, but it's pretty fucking convincing as a talking person, as a source or an input. I'm smarter than it. I'm the smartest man in the world, but I'm smarter than it, so I know that, okay, it's a robot, blah blah, and I can find out, like, okay, there's a problem, there's a situation, like, again, hire me, everybody hire
And
me,
individuals
pay me for my
outside of
time.
government, but there also has to be
I'm smarter than this guy that you're talking on stage right now.
people in government in both parties who say, well, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And when what we're seeing right now is when you do not have those constraints and guardrails, right? When you don't have people inside of government who say, no, this is how the law works, and we should follow it. Democracy is not self-executing. It requires
Right, but it's like going to school. It sucks, but you go to learn, and learning is power, right? Kids forgot that. When they have the option, go to school or don't go, whatever, and they don't go, and they wonder why the fuck the society is fucking them over. Again, AI is up here, and we are down here, and we're not going to school.
People, judges,
And understand there are people in the world that went to school and they're evil, and I have a list of them. So let me know.
People in the Justice Department and people throughout the government who take an oath to uphold the Constitution. It requires them to take.
Oath don't matter anymore. What is this Constitution? Fuck the Constitution. Fuck the Constitution. Fuck all that shit. All that matters is I reign supreme. I throw the Constitution out. Blah blah blah. Like, you gotta get rid of your style of thinking and realize that there is a disease. We need to remove this disease. Stop playing basketball against a team that walks up and starts beating the shit out of your players, and the referees ain't calling a foul. At some point, you need to step and realize, hey, this ain't working. Like, I knew this back in. I seen there was Marjorie Taylor Greene was in charge of something for Congress, and the guy was like, "I'd like to enter this into the record." And Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, "Huh? What?" She wasn't even paying attention. Her response is, "Huh? What?" And you hear in the background, without objection, and she goes, "Without objection." And people, and they're bitching about a puppet government and shadow government. That's the complaining and blaming the Democrats when that shit's happening in public in a visual for everybody. No one's picking up on it. No one's saying shit. Like, even John Oliver, who's a smart dude, not as smart as me, but Kamala Harris popped out and said something. He's like, "This is garbage. This is stupid. This is bullshit." She didn't say anything. And I was like, actually, what she said was gold, and I can't find it now. I look for it anywhere, and yet it's because she said gold, and we're trying to trick them, or we're trying to influence them without influencing them. Basically, what she said, and that's kind of what's going on in the world. Basically, and that's why you have the no 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 in Iraq. That's why you have them out here, where it's like, "Oh, we'll go 9/11. Oh, what? No one's going. Okay, no one's willing. Okay." You know what I'm saying? We still have that essence in America. Whereas over there, it's like, "Fuck it, I don't care." No, no, no. You know, we're not that bad. But we're getting there really fucking, really quickly. And you're still playing basketball with a team that's, huh? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. No.
That oath seriously. And when that isn't happening, we start drifting into something that is not consistent with American democracy. It is consistent with autocracies. It's consistent with
authoritarianism.
Hungary under Orban. It's consistent with places that hold elections but do not otherwise observe what we think of as a fair system in which everybody's voice matters and people have a seat at the table and there are checks and balances and nobody's...
Yeah, they trick you, kind of like AI, and they're being tricked to think something, and they're stupid and uneducated. This is why they're targeting the school system to make people as stupid as possible, because then they fall susceptible to the bullshit and all the power that you're talking about. You're like, "Oh, well, 2 plus 2 is 4," and this guy could be like, "Well, 2 plus 2 is 7," and like, "Yeah, well, 2 plus 2 can be 7 too," and they're like, well, no, but they don't know that, and so they still fucking march on you like you're the bad guy, like you're fucking wrong, or like you don't know what the fuck because your hat is blue and not red.
Above the law.
Basically, I think back in the day, now think about it, gangs in New York, I think happened because somebody wanted New York to stop booming. Not New York, I'm sorry, LA, Los Angeles, and maybe it happened in New York. It was different in New York than in LA. Like LA, it may have been just as bad. I don't know, but in LA, like literally, like I remember there was a kid who was a Norte, And then there was another kid who was from the South. It was Blood versus Crips, I think it was. And I just remember one kid just beating the shit. I can hear the fists from one kid hitting the other kid in the chest, and the boom, 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 like just the impact, the power that the kid had versus the other kid. But they all wanted to play gangster, and that may have been a plot to just divide them and make them fight each other to take each other down, because they're starting to do this and divide they fall, and then boom, they destroy each other back to nothing again, and allowed fucking power to, what's it called, status quo, allowed to exist. Basically, because everyone's stupid, and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again, and now we're seeing it like, fuck it, I'll bring it up. Fucking. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but again, I'm trying to. I'm not adding you on Discord, by the way. Like I said, you have to earn it. I don't just add people. Bad leaders, false gods. So Paul and Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, Pete Hegseth, RFK Jr., Matt Gaetz, Bobbert, Marty Taylor Green, Fox News, Margot Rubio, Janine Pirro, Jubilee, and owners, Netflix and owners, Ben Shapiro and Friends, Paramount Global, PMN, Paramount Media, CBS, Global Broadcasting System. They have name changes to dodge trouble, and like people are like, oh, I hate them, and so they change the name, and then people sign up with them. It's the same people that you hated before, but now it's somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Trump's and his leg splints for the war and shit, right? Apple TV, Olsen, Owen Wilson, Snoop Dogg, anyone related to them, as in they work together, they basically sell out to blah blah. I have a whole fucking list if you want. But basically, they're salts and cutthroat and bullshit people, and they're trying to bring the world down, and they're trying to sow division by any means to make us all fight so they can reign supreme, have power, and they're in charge, and you're stupid, and they're trying to make it like Russia, where everyone's a fucking idiot and doesn't know, and I don't hate Russians, by the way, like, the same thing with China. I don't hate you, China. But what I do hate is your leaders in Russia, and I do hate the leaders in China. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Like, there are China people, and there are China leaders. Basically, people with power. They're evil motherfuckers. Same thing with Russia, same thing everywhere you look, same thing in America. Basically, there are people in America that have power, that are evil, like the people I just mentioned right now. And they'll do things to empower themselves and their family at the cost of everyone else, so they don't give a fuck about anyone else. And again, we have Obama, who's like, I'm stuck in the fucking 50s, and I act like the world's the way it's supposed to. And no, it's not. The world's fucking changed, bitch. Like, we need warriors right now. We need fighters. We need people who actually stand up and who actually go to court and who actually fucking get arrested and fucking will take, okay, fine, prison time. And public, we need martyrs, basically, not little baby dicks that go and walk up to the screen and be like, and then walk away, because nothing's gonna happen. And then Jordan Peterson's like, why don't we have any alphas? Why don't we have any men? Because all the men are being shut down. They're being quiet, just like Bernie Sanders, like the Bernie blackouts happening. I know, because the same thing's happening to me, right? What's it called? The algorithm's bullshit. Like, I keep getting nothing but scam calls all fucking day. I get fucking bots come by. What's your info? Give me your info. What's your social security number? Ha ha ha. You know, I get shit like that, but nobody shows up. I wonder why. But then I go walk. I look on YouTube and see what's popping off. Oh, it's some girls doing the splits. Has like 5 million views. What the fuck's going on? You know what I'm saying?
And we're not there yet completely, but I think that
You think?
we are dangerously close to.
I think Obama, when he speaks, half his speeches are him, and then there's, like, he's trying to, I get it, be precise, and whatever, it's just like, come on, dude, come on, you know?
Normalizing behavior like that. And we need people both outside government and inside of government.
You hear them people clapping? They would love my channel, but they'll never know about it because fucking they control the algorithm.
Let's not go over that over that cliff.
That was President Obama speaking at the Connecticut Forum, offering rare remarks and an even rarer rebuke of the current president, although skillfully enough without using his name. But the implication was beyond clear, as was his condemnation for the utter lack of respect for the most basic tenets of
Edits, and stop reading the script. I literally don't know what you're gonna say. I watched the video up until like 2 minutes, or like a minute and something. Like, I don't know. Look at the timing, and the video is only 5 minutes long. I think I was a minute in. I was like, I gotta do a video response. No script, no edits, no nothing, no bullshit. Because I'm real. This is a real deal. He is fake. All the attention will go to him. You know why? Because the second he needs to do something, he bails. Not saying you will, but you're an example. There's someone, I think, Irrational National, who is on the list, by the way, of a fake alpha and sellouts and shit. But basically, where is he? What the hell? Oh, maybe that's not the list. Nope, that was, I don't have it. It might not have saved for some reason. I don't remember. I think it's the Rational National. I think it's Rational. Well, so one of the people on my list, I'll update it later and find out who it was because it's not here for some reason. Basically said he was gonna leave the nation. Basically, like, shit was getting bad. So he's like, well, you guys are like giving me money and stuff, but I'm afraid of consequence and drama and being a man and going down with the ship and, you know, fighting for what's right to party, right? I'll party, but I'm not gonna work. And so, fuck y'all, I'm leaving. And that's basically what he's made a video about. And that's it. Everybody is. Like, it's like, I will fucking die swinging, bitch. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. And again, that's why you want to fucking see me and why I want to end up, but yeah.
Democracy. The reality is that for years, Republicans have beat their chests as these protectors of the rule of law.
Shocking.
But it was window dressing. It was marketing. Because the reality is that
that's what Hollywood has done, is it made you susceptible, it made people susceptible to that bullshit. Women love a man who pounds his chest because they are captured by the man pounding his chest also being the guy who's like afraid in the corner and how passionate he is. And that passion is what refines him and keeps him so back and behind everything. But they think that the guy pounding his chest is equally the same fucking thing. And they get together and then he fucks her and then he leaves her. And they say, what happened? What happened? It's because you've been lied to, you fucking dumbass. And you believed all the bullshit. Oops.
I know it's fucked up, but I tell you the truth.
That's Dave Chappelle, ladies and gentlemen. I'd for something else, but
that we are less than 6 months into this administration, watching Donald Trump defy court orders, watching Trump federalize the National Guard and sick them on Americans in our own cities, watching Trump disappear people with no due process, watching Trump try and end birthright citizenship in stark opposition to the plain text of the Constitution, watching him do all of these things, and yet it's been silenced from the self-proclaimed defenders of law and order on the right. And that puts on full display the reality.
No, it's them and you. You have all the money, all the power, all the attention. I'm disabled. I recently went through a stroke, a brain tumor, radiation therapy, abusive parents, abusive home. What's it called? Doctors that sucked. Finally, it's like I don't know. I recently started streaming a full time, and basically I just got started. And you guys have been in power for years. Why haven't you fucking done anything? Like, with your power, with your fucking ability to lead? Because you're fucking beta, fucking gamma, fucking lying bitches. That's why.
Of the situation, which is that these people never cared about law or the Constitution or democracy. They just said what people wanted to hear.
Right. How shocking. Oh, wow. Gammas. Whoa.
Able to get into office, and then once they had power, they can take off the mask. And that's what they've done.
Yep.
All of those strict
That's what most relationships ends poorly. Oh, date me, love me. I have so much makeup on, but you wake up, you look more fucked up than I do, and having sex with you. Now it's like having sex with a well with the drape over it. Like there's nothing left, and yet you want me to date you and ask you to teach my kid math, and he does better math than you do, and he's 2 years old. Like what the fuck is the value of being with you at this point? That's why so many guys are dying so young, are alone rather, and so many girls are alone, and yet they're all blown out whores before they die.
Strict constitutionalists are now standing idly by while Trump runs roughshod over our democracy, and each one is more groveling than the next.
I'm done. You're just talking the same old bullshit. But anyways, be well, be happy, be safe, be smart, be awesome, and be smart. There's a big, big capital T in that one for no reason, just because it stands out that much more. Be smart, okay? Be smart. There's intelligence and there's education. You can be educationally or intelligently smart. That's fine, but you need some education as well. I'm a dyslexic, I think it is. I reverse words sometimes. But anyways, that's it. And yet I have all this shit that I've been through and have so many problems. ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, ataxia, fucking brain tumor, fucking radiation therapy, brain cancer, form of radiation therapy, a stroke. I've been through so fucking much, and yet I'm still the alpha dog and the alpha of alpha, the king of kings, and it fucking sucks. I hate knowing that I'm number one because that means everyone else is worse than me, and I am nothing. You understand? I don't have shit to stand on. I don't have shit to offer anybody. Why am I the one that everyone can fall back on when I have nothing to give you? If people donated me money, I can support you. I can actually help. You know what I'm saying? I can provide for you. I can show you the way, right? Like that one meme says. But the problem is I have nothing, and no other man will. They all can fake it and all pretend and blah. I seen the guy acting this way. I seen the guy acting this way. We wonder why America fucked up. That's why. Anyways, I'm out. So peace. Be safe. I love you. Take care. Later.